Hello everyone, welcome to today's Masterclass event. I hope all of you are doing great and you'll have a great learning journey today. So for today's Masterclass event, we have Soumya Jyoti with us. He's a senior data scientist at Swiggy. He's having a decade of experience in data science domain. He worked at renowned companies like Visa, Q.Fit, Amazon. So you can ask all the doubts regarding data science and how a data scientist life will be. So he'll guide you everything from starting onwards. So let's welcome today's instructor. Samir, you can take over.
Hi. Thanks. Hi, folks. Good morning. I know that it's a weekend, but I will try to keep this event as conversational as possible. I would like to interact as well. Like more, I want to keep this session more interactive rather than going through boring PPT. I will start with my introduction and a PPT. If you give me 2 seconds just to start the presentation. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see. Yeah.
Good. Then I'll start with my introduction as already has been mentioned. Like I started my journey with Visa. So I consider my journey as like kind of fascinating and adventurous as well. So folks, you can think of like Visa is a company who is handling around uh, 2 billion cards, where we have only 6 billion people in the world, and we had like in Visa we had around 2 billion cards, and it's generating information in each second. It's handling about like around 1 billion transaction per day. So it was a huge data where I landed up after my college only. So in during my college days, I dealt with huge data set, but those were not these billions or trillions of rows. So it was kind of a great learning curve for me. So I spent around 2 plus years in Visa. So after that, what I thought, like I need to learn how I need to develop the things from scratch. And at that time, CureFit was like just getting started. So, and data science was in nascent state in CureFit. So when I joined CureFit, I was leading EatFit platform, entire like the food delivery vertical of CureFit. So when we started, it was only four cloud kitchens from where we started delivering healthy foods to people. And then when I left CureFit, it was like around 100 kitchens around the country. And at that time, we started expansion in Dubai. So I actually saw the thing we read in books like 0 to 1 or 1 and 1 to 100, that phase. So that was like really a steep learning curve from product or company perspective for me. And then again I switched to a big MNC like Amazon. So Amazon I was working in CBCC credit card. So that was also interesting and more or less like in similar line with the Visa. So the learning what I got in Visa, that actually helped me. And then I switched to Swiggy. So Swiggy is like a like I would like to mention that most of my innovations what already I have done, like most of them are done in Swiggy, because here uh, uh, as you most of people knows that fintech domain is little bit conservative, so there we have very little scope to play around advanced techniques, because it actually is very risky from experimentation perspective. So but here um, uh, org always encouraged people to do innovation. And so here also I learned a lot from core data science perspective, as well as how to do product backward thinking and all those things. So it is actually helping me. So that's why currently enjoying the things what I'm doing, the stuff I'm doing. And so yeah, would like to keep my learning curve as steep as possible in coming days as well. So yeah, folks, when I can start, I know that it's written that it's day of a life in data scientist at Swiggy, but I would like to keep this session as generic as possible. So wherever you want to join or wherever you will go, you can use these as a framework for your day or for your journey. And it will be great if at the end of the session at least you will have a takeaway that how to become a better data scientist in your life. So that's the basic takeaway I want to give you after this session. So yeah, these are the our today's agenda. I will start with the introduction perspective. As here you can see that from starting of the not only Swiggy app, in any logistic delivery app, from starting and ending of the fulfillment, each and every step contains data. So here I would like to mention that, excuse me, on daily basis we are generating around 328 GB, 328 terabytes of data. So, but actually, if those data is useful or not, that depends upon how we are using that data. We have abundance of data, but do we have abundance of information? Until we convert that data to information, it's not useful. So here data scientists or analytics people plays the pivotal role, and their journey actually revolves around these to convert these data to information. We know that data is the new oil, but unless we put that into a proper engine, it has no value. So like that only, I would like to start like why I chose data science. When I chose data science, it was around 2013 or 14, around that time, or when I was doing my final year thesis. It was purely accidental. So what I will mention, and like what I mention in every places also. Like during my choice of final year thesis MTP thing, my guide gave few options, and I found it that we have all of us have access to social media. All of us can access Twitter, post any tweet at currently X, but at that time it was Twitter. So I found that I can do something around this data. So and it was related with natural languages. So I had a generic inclination towards natural languages, and how a different grammar has been developed. It can be Chomskyan grammatical thing, or like it can be from uh, normal form of language. It can be our own Sanskrit or Hindi or Bengali. So all those forms used to fascinate me. So hence I thought that let's choose this topic, and that's how I stepped into the world of data science. So when I completed my thesis, I found myself that in a position that okay, it looks like this can be my place, and I want to go forward with this domain where I can deal with data and actually I can extract information from the data. So that's how I landed up in data science. And after that, gradually in my roles, what I found that data science earlier it might be in a more like passenger role in a company, but currently after 2014-15 it has taken the driver role. It helps any organization to take more informed decision, data backed decision making, or like or more impact oriented, where actually from historical data we can gauge the expected impact. We can leverage the historical data also. We don't need to depend upon our instincts. So those things actually modified the entire business landscape for entire world. Nowadays we want everything personalized. We don't want to be like someone in a million. We always do care for the organization who takes care of me, who like that's why we all want personalized things. That can be a personalized UI, that can be a personalized listing, anything can be. So like that enhance my experience as a customer. So their data takes a pivotal role, important role in any company's journey. That can be any e-commerce, that can be any product based company also. Like suppose I got a headphone who has engraved my name on it, so it will fascinate me. So something like that. And yeah, and another third thing to stick in this cutthroat competitive world is like operational efficiency. We can bring that also using data. So when I found that these three pillars are the strongest pillars to build any business, to build any organization, and all these three can be supported from this data backed role. So that's why I found that it's a suitable place to be in. And to grow in modern business, you need to have this data science domain in your org to mm, build your muscle around these pillars. So yeah, so from Swiggy's operation perspective, I will say that uh, from starting of your app to placing your order to any restaurant, or placing order to Instamart, or placing order to Genie, or when you are using Insanely Good, or even when you are booking a table in Dine Out, in each and every product, it's like Swiggy always try to craft it at personal level, always try to deliver the best possible customer experience. And for that, we have tons of data. We have around 7 to 8 years of historical data for each and every customer. We have their personal uh, affinities. So we want try to use that and give the best possible customer experience. And for that, what I think that these are the main uh, points we need to keep in mind as a data scientist. So we need to understand that uh, not only for Swiggy, not only for any logistic business, each and every business is a evolving business in current days. Earlier, payment was in two forms. It was cash or card payment. When I joined Visa, uh, I used to hear a term that our competitor is not Mastercard. Our competitor is cash. Now in that payment world, we have UPI, we have Paytm, we have wallet, there are different tons of payment modes. In Japan, actually, you can see that around 64 to 70 payment modes are there available. So, so entire payment landscape is different there. So like that, in each and every sector, the market you are in is always evolving. Always people are innovating in each and every market. So as a data scientist, you can't stick to older market stigma or old concepts. You need to adapt to this dynamic market understanding. Then the second thing is like, as I already mentioned about personalization. Second thing I want to mention about that supply chain optimization, where actually in every organization you need to have a good balance of demand and supply, and that only can be brought with optimization. Sometimes what we can have, if we have high demand but we don't have supply, that means we will end up having a bad customer experience. Suppose we have a huge supply but we don't have customer demand, then actually we will end up having incurring a huge losses. So this balance of demand and supply is very crucial to achieve to a profitable or sustainable better business. So that's why whenever you are solving any problem as a data scientist, you always try need to um, keep in mind about this trade-off, that how you will balance these things, how your solution will help in balancing these two parts. And yeah, from there, this point only I can go to the next point. We always try to have a product backward thinking. Like, data science job is a very fungible job. I would like to mention that sometimes you need to think as a product owner, sometimes you need to think as an engineer, sometimes you need to think as a economist or statistician. So always try to think around your product. So all your solution will get developed from the product. All your problem you are trying to solve or that can create impact will be around your product. So hence product backward thinking is a must have for current day data scientists. And yeah, as I mentioned that nowadays it's no more as a passenger um mode. It's always a driver mode. As a data scientist, like earlier it used to have like any org used to create the data, and then data scientists used to get the data, and like analytics they used to give the analysis like why this happened. Now data scientists are in front seat of the car. You need to envision like what can be the best possible next step for your org, best possible next option for your org, so that can bring the stability, profitability or sustainability to your org. So that's why always need to have like this driver mentality. And yeah, like customer obsession, always like that customer can be your stakeholders, that customer can be your products customer, that customer can be your supply giver. Like for Swiggy I can mention that these are also our customer, restaurant is also our customer, and customer who are buying purchasing foods are also our customer. So those all three are like prime for Swiggy, and we try to manage everyone's expectation. We try to deliver best possible experience for our customer, be that like D for someone, or like delivery person for someone, that can be restaurant for someone, and that can be customer who are purchasing food for someone. And yeah, primarily as a data scientist we are a problem solver. We need to think, we need to have that acumen to solving problem. It can be a mathematical problem, it can be a simple automation, it can be a simple mathematical data backed mathematical formula, or like simple mean median mode thing. But if that is solving your problem, you don't need to craft a very advanced or very sophisticated solution. So always you need to have problem solutioning mind, that. So yeah, I want to take a pause. Like, do you have any questions or like anything you want to ask? Okay, then I can move to the next slide. So yeah, as next slide is like basically I'm going into the core topic of this presentation, like how I divide my bandwidth as a data scientist. So we all, from outside world, we all think about data science is all about modeling, creating models, creating sophisticated models. I guess after ChatGPT is like it can be a LLM model or something like that, but it's kind of tip of the iceberg. Um, it's not actually like the entire portfolio of a data scientist. Uh, Data science, as I mentioned, that uh, primarily data scientists are like problem solver. So hence you it everything from like finding the data set, creating the data pipeline, or managing the stakeholders, explaining the solution, or and planning the experiment and deliver the product. This entire life cycle needs to be handled by data scientists. So that's why this is kind of a day planning of a data scientist look like I at least I follow this routine. It might help you in your journey. So as I told you, like as you, I will go through this routine and I will explain like how different kind of principles are attached to each and every bucket of this day. So mostly I start like my day starts with this checking daily reports and mails. So I will say that ownership is kind of a major principle which is attached to this activity, because whatever solution I have delivered, what is the state of the solution, what what are the pain points, uh, if my solution has any pain points, like what is the current state, if everything is running fine or not, if there is any gradual degradation of performance of the deployed models or not. So all things needs to be taken care of by the data scientist. So I start my day with that only. I check all the reports, uh, any alerts are there or not. So I spend around 1 hour on that. So that gives me an idea like what all things I need to do, what all tasks I need to do. Then this like I take around 30 minutes to plan my day. I have the pending tasks from last day, and I have the P0 task or P1 task from today's reports and mails. So based on that, I assign a priority. I try to assign a priority on each and every task, and then try to check what is the best possible deliverables what I can complete in this today's world, and what all can be pushed to next day, as we have only uh, 10 to 12 hours in a day. Uh, like if you work specifically very hard, so that's why you need to have a prioritization on your task. So one thumb rule I follow, that whatever can be done within 5 to 10 minutes, I just do that instantly. Whatever takes more than 30 minutes, I try to plan those tasks. That suppose I need to write a doc, suppose I need to do a deep dive. I try to plan them. I don't start them in ad hoc basis. So that's how I just do a planning of entire day, so that I have a visibility how my day will look like. I know what all meetings I have today's schedule. Based on that, I I can assign like, okay, so I have a meeting around 2 o'clock. So prior 2 o'clock, I have around 2 hours. So I will spend these 2 hours in for this solving this topic that can be any deep dive, that can be any experiment analysis or anything. So that's how I try to manage my planning. Then code walk around 3 hours I spend in development with ultimate focus. So here comes all the modeling, data wrangling, data preparation, all these things like experiment setup, everything. So these things is basically comes from insisting on highest possible standards. So whenever I try to focus on development, try to deliver the best possible code, I try to deliver the best possible model available. So always I try to insist on highest possible standards. And yeah, as you can see that I have a limited time. It cannot be any deliverable cannot uh, be keep going for infinite time. So within that finite time, how I can innovate my solution, that innovation also comes into our daily life in during solution. So all those innovation and research and all these things, I just try to have them within these 3 hours. Then more or less around 2 hours or less than 2 hours, and we need to spend in brainstorming and meeting. So if on regular basis, like product, we have like meetings with stakeholders on new products, meetings with stakeholders on existing products. We need to have brainstorming with the current ongoing market situation and adaptability, all these things. So that it takes around 2 hours, might not be like exact 2 hours, but it takes around 2 hours. Then purposefully I spend around 2 hours in data gazing. Data gazing is not something very regular thing, but I try to give a significant amount of time to myself on data gazing, because this gives me the idea about the focus area, the idea about the where we need to ponder upon, uh, what all areas where data science can bring impact, where a data science product can actually help. Instead of making the product complex or solutioning complex, where data science will actually help and bring value to the core system. So that can be found out by data gazing only. So I spend around 2 hours in checking different kinds of data, and here data wrangling is a core part. Data wrangling, outlier removal, checking outlier, and like if outlier percentage is increasing, why that outlier percentage is increasing, how actually like we those outlier incidents are occurring. Suppose I can say that from my past experience, when I was in visa, we were cleaning some data from payment provider. So payment provider means like PayPal or Paytm, those things. So PayPal used to send the payment information like PP star, after that some transaction code and transaction ID and all those things. And we used to extract merchant's name from that. So someday they just changed that PP to PYPL, and again a few times they changed it to PAYPAL. So they had a dynamic string which were getting as a suffix in the payment string. So always we used to, whenever we gaze the data, we saw that different pattern. So there we were losing some of the merchants information. So for that we developed a solution based on pattern. Like that solution will check the frequent pattern over the data and automatically will extract this kind of patterns like PP star or PayPal star or something like that. So that actually helped to enrich the merchant information. So always data gazing helps to get the most impactful area. So whenever you will see the data from, like, basically whenever you want to think out of the box, you need to see the problem from outside, and for that you need to have a 360-degree view of the data. So that's why, like, I give around 2 hours, a significant amount of time on daily basis in data gazing. It can be like, not like daily basis. You can fix a day in your week where you will just spend on data. So that's how also you can. And then, yeah, I end my day with listing down the what all tasks what I have able to complete, what are pending tasks, and what are their priorities, and how I will manage that in the next day, how I can put that in the next day. And if I need to notify my stakeholders on that, like if this task is getting delayed, so that they can organize their planning accordingly. So these actually help. This actually brings clarity and transparency in the system, in the communication, and I always try to keep my communication as crisp as possible, because keeping the things opaque doesn't help. So, yeah, that's why, like, and this list actually helped me in the next day when I try to plan my day. So that became my kind of my regular habit. Um, you, even if you are not in a data science role, still it will help you. What I think of, because like planning your day, following a routine, and stick to that always helps you to deliver a better product, because your brain don't need to focus on getting the alignment, or it will have a lower overhead during switching topics, because you already know that these all things I need to deliver, and I will spend like this time to this time on this. So less uh, context switching helps to have a clear thinking on the solution. So yeah, mostly my day looks like this only. So, so uh, now I want to discuss, like, what are the core strengths need to have as a data scientist. Prior that, like, if you have any questions on like day planning, or you want to suggest anything, what I need to change, or like what can be done better. Okay, it looks like if everyone is listening, or like it become boring. Okay. Oh, okay. I missed the chat, I guess. What should be? Uh, yeah, I will. Sorry, I missed some of the question. So yeah, I will start with the which is the best specialization to do in data science. Um, yeah, data science is. If my audio is clear now.
Yes, yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So best specialization in data science, I will say data. I see data science as a applied mathematics only. So mathematics mostly when we try to solve a problem, mathematical problem in pen and paper, but it cannot be done on trillions of rows. It cannot be done on gigabytes of data. So that's where data science helps. As there was a funny quote was there, where it was mentioned that uh, data scientists are basically the people who are little better in programming than any statistician, and who knows more math than any programmer. So yeah, it's like a kind of amalgamation of mathematics and statistics. So if you have strong hold in these two topics, then you can move to any of the things. I agree that um, natural language processing or image processing is little bit a specified field, but again, whenever it brings down to data science or like a computer science problem, it brings down to mathematics only. So if you have strong hold in mathematics, I believe that uh, mm, each and every you can roam around each and every field. Everything is numbers at the end of the day. Is data science position is available in many companies? Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, in Google, there is a research scientist post. In Amazon, they have applied scientists as well as data scientists. Both deal with data as well as data science related problem modeling. So yeah, so data science are core part of all main companies, Microsoft, Google, everyone, Meta. Uh, okay, I just use that zooming out the screen. So, what should be the ideal age to? I don't think that lightning has a age. So, uh, to have a good experience, I will say like as soon as you possible, like you deal with data, you start with mathematics, you will have a longer tenure to get the experience because ultimately each and every craft needs experience. So whenever you will have a will have more experience, then you uh, you you can see the problem from different aspects, you different perspective, and you can give a better solution, more informed solution to any product. So that's why like after having a core strength in mathematics, programming, and all those things, so you can start data science. Is exploratory data always done on daily basis? Not really, but yeah, but actually it helps. If you do exploratory data science, data analysis on daily basis, that actually will help you to be on top of the data. And data is basically current state of your product. So 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 that actually helps. So that actually helps. Uh, then NLP and series how often we use. So yeah, NLP and time series is basically related to business you are in or the role you are in. Suppose you are in a role of demand prediction, then time series is your bread and butter. Suppose you are working on a search engine or you are working on a domain. Suppose as I was mentioning about my visa role, during visa role, my entire role was around natural language processing. So uh, so hence everything depends upon the role you are in. But it's actually good to have your hands on different things like NLP as well as time series, those things, because uh, that will help you to evolve as a data scientist. Which topics of mathematics is relevant to data science? Obviously, matrix related like linear programming, and then you need to know statistics and calculus. Those are like P zeros for data science. And the most challenging data scientist challenge as a data scientist. Okay, yeah, this is an interesting question. Most challenging thing as a data scientist. Most challenging thing as a data scientist is not solving the problem. It's about how you will present the problem, because if you present your solution with some mathematical gibberish to your product owner, it will not help you. Uh, so they actually they might understand, but it is not expected to be a data scientist as a product owner also. So whenever you deliver your solution, so that's the most challenging part. We might end up developing a deep learning model, a very complex, futuristic, sophisticated, advanced model. But until you explain that uh, with a simple language and with data to your stakeholder, that means nothing. Until you able to explain that and deliver that to your stakeholder, it and sometimes it became really difficult to explain complex things to your stakeholder. That's why as a data scientist we all need to develop the skill of storytelling. So storytelling actually helps you to explain a complex things to stakeholders. How mostly you need to think how if you are to explain this thing to a 5 years old kid, or like someone who is not aware about data science, how you would have explained. So that thing, that skill as a data scientist you need to develop. So that is kind of the most challenging thing. I am yet developing that skill. But yeah, that is kind of most challenging thing. I think as a most of the data scientists has failed. Like make the data science work in the org. Like you need to you need to get the trust from your stakeholders, and you need to deliver like how you want to become a mm, uh, how you want to become a like a go-to person for your stakeholders, and how you try to explain the things to your stakeholders. Those things are key. uh Data science, data science is futuristic or the learning curve in data science is having, that is futuristic. Like each and every day we are learning. I will explain about the learning curve of data science. So the way we are learning, and in each and every day there is something new is getting developed. As people were jumping around like LLM, large language model, or chat GPT few days ago, now they are saying that okay, this chat GPT is not learning, so it can create illusion around the fact. So that's why, like, so hence the new something new will come, some more advancement will come. So hence as we are learning each and every day, that will keep us moving, that will make this field futuristic, that will keep this field growing. As master degree is required, I don't think until you are good in your craft, no degree matters. Is DSA asking data science will be MNCs in my UPS? What is it? It can be asked, but it doesn't get asked from data structure perspective. It's to check your problem solving skills, because the problem we solve in data structure and algorithm, that gives clarity in problem solving. You might not get asked about dynamic programming heavily, but a simple recursion problem can be asked, because that gives an idea how clear you are when you are thinking of solution. This is on 2 year data scientist. This thing I don't know that whose salary is higher after 2 years, um, because like it depends upon the company, it depends upon the requirement, it depends upon the skill. and and I respect all kind of verticals, like software engineer, data scientist. Each and every role has their own scope of contribution. So each and every role is important, and they are regarded as important as any other role. My machine learning concept are good, and I am able to solve problems. So ML engineering is a good place to dive on data. ML engineer, in some places, ML engineer is as good as data scientist. Like in DoorDash or Deliveroo, ML engineer, you try to wrangle around the data and try to develop the model. And and in some cases, ML engineer are just keeping up the ML engineers are taking care of the data pipelines, platform, how we can deploy data science solution. Those things are taken care of ML engineers. So based on the job description, you need to decide in which role you are a good fit, and based on that you can start exploring. In commerce, should I go for data science? Yeah, why not? Like I just told you that it doesn't related with any degree. It relates to your skill, your core skill. How latest techniques, LLMs and actionable. Yeah, as I just mentioned, that LLMs is a fascinating skill. It is finally in LLM, we are able to harness these tons of data we can extract, and actually data science model is behaving like a human, like a so as data science started its journey from 1990s something. So the way they were working, it was more of a key. So they were just learning something and delivering some output. But uh, currently, after LLM, it has become little mature. Now it's like a 10 to 12 years of kid. It is expressing itself. It is delivering answer. That might be wrong, but it is actually extracting some information from the tons of data it has, and it needs not to be trained for that activity itself. It is trying to give its own solution. So that solution might be wrong. That solution can be illusional, but it's something new. So that is definitely influencing data science field. And I will say not only data science field, it is actually a path breaking thing of uh, 21st century, because it will change the uh, uh, it will change the entire ecosystem. It will change the perspective from which all the job families has been observed. So that's kind of very fascinating. So what will be the work as fresher and okay. Yeah, as a fresher, you need to focus on the core strength, like understanding data science and understanding the math behind data science, and how you can show those characteristics during developing any solution. You will be guided, you will have a direction from your seniors, but how you will show your true value from your code as a data scientist. So that as a fresher, you need to pick those skills, and you need to strengthen your you need to build muscles around your core strength. Yeah, I don't think again commerce student can become data science and good developer. I think like it is not. It is just yeah. Even I think so. Student of non-coding technical room, which things we should start first. I will say that we all have our mathematical background due to our educational system. So mm, uh, if you are from non-technical background, you can start the coding first, and side by side you can brush up your mathematical knowledge and upgrade that to next level. How often we use ChatGPT? It's based on project. There are LLM based projects are there where you need to use ChatGPT for day in and day out. But there are in some cases we use ChatGPT uh, uh, for our help as an assistant. Not only not ChatGPT. There are lots of LLMs out there. Falcon is there, so all those things can be used. 40 plus yeah, uh, like I think like data backed decision taking is a habit, is a effective thing as a person. So I don't think data science only from careers perspective. It kind of a thought process, thought clarity in our life. Like whenever I will take any decision, it should be some data backed or evidence backed. So that will bring success whatever field you are in. So even if you are in some different field in 40 plus age, you can get success from learning data science, because it's ultimately it will help you to take better decision, to point out better next steps and grow. Yeah, I started my career as a data scientist as fresher only. How much salary, it depends. Again, it depends upon the company, it depends upon the complexity of work, it depends upon uh, the expectation. So there is nothing like fresher salary for data. Difference between data analysis and data science, again, this is another interesting question. So how I differentiate, though there is a very slight demarcation between data analyst and data science, but um, data analyst basically takes the backseat, where they have the data. Now they try to analyze the situation, why this happened. And data science, you need to foresee. So you are in the front seat. So you need to say, you need to tell what will happen, what has happened, like what will happen. So that is the basically slight difference, but both have need to have the similar skill, same characteristics, same approach to data. So more or less like it even as data scientist, you need to have that fungibility, that sometimes you need to work as a data analyst, where you need to analyze the situation. Then only you can create better feature, create better information, so that you can take care of the future. So it's a very interchangeable role. What I think, like both ways. You got a full reason to take data. I will not mention. I will not say that if you like both, because as I'm a data scientist, I always love and I love my craft. So I will not say to choose software engineering over data science. But again, those two are different. Software engineering is something where you're developing the solution, developing the product. You are not selling the solution. And data science is something, it's like where you are actually finding out the data backed solution and delivering that. So here, like what I think, like you can get inclined to only one thing, because there is so much to explore in software engineering. There is so much things to explore in data science. No one can complete both the things in this short lifespan. Even he spends around 24 hours per day in learning. So that's why like, I think you can find your inclination if you give a thought around how to hold it. So yeah, there are lots of materials are already available for data science interview preparation. But I will say that if you have a strong base in mathematics, and you know a little bit of programming, you have some idea about data science and machine learning, and how to wrangle around the data, and basic idea about big data, about because currently we can't analyze, we can't do the data science thing in Excel. So that's a little bit idea about big data. So then you are good to start, and slowly you need to learn the craft of art of storytelling around the data. Okay. Hierarchy of data science is mostly, it's different in different companies. So it starts with like DS1, DS2, senior DS, staff DS, then uh, principal DS, like that. Considering data science domain, I don't think like no one cares about the gap or anything. If you have proper justification, if you are good in your skill, and if you have proper experience, then I don't think anyone will ask about like why you had a gap of 4 years. Econometrics, yeah, in some cases like banks or some core financial sectors, econometrics has been asked, are asked, but not on regular companies interview in the upcoming quarter. So yeah, I don't have any idea about opening in Swiggy. Uh, mm, but yeah, interview rounds in most of the cases, it depends upon org to org, company to company. Mostly 3 to 4 rounds of interviews are there. New business may not have enough data to be analyzed. In that case, where will the data are available? Data might not be available around that own company. Lots of data are available on daily basis. Yeah, you might not know what will be the demand of your company, but you can have the demographic data. You can create correlation with some other data, and from there you can set a path what will be the best next step. So that's why yeah, like I can give my example also. When I started uh, in eat fit, at that time the number of data points were very low, but we started with that, so that actually gave a strong base. Like when the number of kitchen increased from 4 to 10, it was not a problem. Like because whatever we beat, that was scalable. From 10 to 100, it was not a problem. But if you think from that perspective that I will not build a scalable solution, then we can ignore data. But otherwise, you need to have proper pipeline, proper data science platform in place to make your uh, product scalable. A newcomer in data science need to have strong knowledge and build up super. Yeah, like clustering are kind of unsupervised algorithms. So, supervised and unsupervised, and within that, I will say that mathematical knowledge and knowledge about outliers, all these things are required as a newcomer. The math topic they should take. I have already necessary. I want to go for cloud computing than data science. No, cloud computing is something different. I don't think data science is more around mathematics. It's more around mathematics and what to study and for how to do it. Okay. So best approach to study products is like try to think about the customer, and from customer try to leave the entire customer journeys in different paths. Like always there is a happy path, there is a bad path. So try to learn both, try to have both, and that will help you to check what are the different points where we are generating important data points and how those data points are getting stored. Then think as a data scientist, then get those data from the pipeline and start analyzing. That will give you insight. How true is that? It might be because like in US currently 80 rupees is per dollar. So, but again, I don't perceive that thing as accurately because our expenditure is also different, and currently the kind of top-notch work is getting done in India that is far better than some of other companies outside India. It's it's at par with any, like at least I can comment on Swiggy's data science or any other Indian company's data science thing, that it's at par with all other global companies, because uh, we are also always exploring new uh, papers, journals, and that helps us to keep innovating and fostering innovation in our field. Skills from your experience help to do or foster. I will say planning. That I spend my important 30 minutes to plan my day, but it gives me clarity in my thinking, and that helps me to deliver. Yeah, yeah. Like I got offered to travel to US thrice, so I don't think it's a problem. I just didn't went because I didn't wanted to go. So that's why I don't see it as a challenge. Just give me one second. How much time we spent on starting project? Again, it depends upon the complexity of the project. Uh, More or less, it takes around 1.5 months to 2 months to complete any project, because like it's when I'm talking about 1.5 months, 2 months, it's about the entire cycle, from EDA to developing the solution, then experiment, then product fit, then experimentation, and then delivering the product. Then this entire life cycle takes around 2 months. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, how much time or auto EDA, man? EDA needs to be manual always. Otherwise, you cannot understand like what are the pain points. Like we can always check. We can have a automatic script to get the distribution of all fields and all correlation, but unless you just see the data, you try to understand the data, try to understand the life cycle. uh, it 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 is very hard to identify the pain point where impact can be created. Life cycle of what is the life cycle of a project? Life cycle of a project means that it starts with project ideation, then we write a PRD, like project requirement doc. Then from project requirement doc, we try to uh, do a EDA, like what are the possible impact this project can bring, and then how we will approach the solution. Then we try to create a solution. That solution phase involves, like it can be data modeling, it can be solutioning from different aspects. Then it comes a third phase, like how it will get integrated with the existing product. It can be through API, it can be through exposing some table or sending some report on email. It can be in multiple ways. So then it comes the experimentation phase. Uh, 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 then it comes the experimentation phase where uh, you need to do A/B testing or pre-post or on-off kind of testing, where you need to evaluate the efficacy of your solution. So if that efficacy of solution is good and it actually helps to deliver better, it's actually meaningful for your company, then your solution gets approved and then you just roll out. Then rolling out of your solution is also takes some time. So, so that's how this entire life cycle looks like. Uh, Python or R is must kind of current day data scientists because you need to analyze tons of data. So that cannot be done in Excel. In your initial stage, which site helps? In my initial days, uh, sites during my college days, I started with lead code and but I mostly followed books to be frank. Because books help me to concentrate. So, and that also gives me clear knowledge about the things. So, I went with books. Okay, dear, how we identify what we need to do. No, no, you need to identify the hypothesis. So, like, unless how you will check like what are the pain points. Like, it is not like always necessary to have a fixed set of hypotheses. Based on data only, you can identify them. So yeah, now I think I can go to the presentation again. But yeah, but thanks, folks. Like from your questions, yeah, I have mostly covered my presentation. Then let's get back to the core strengths as a data scientist, core strengths of a data scientist. So as I mentioned, like mathematics, programming, idea about big data, and storytelling. These four are like strong pillars of data scientists. So, and for each pillar, it has like different expertise we need to develop. Like from mathematical and programming thing, you need to have the skill of data interpretation, statistical analysis, and you need to create acumen like based on the data. What kind of machine learning tool will help you? Is if extracting information gain will help you, if decision tree will help you, if these on some specific data, if assumptions of linear regression is holding or not, all those things you need to keep in mind, and that being that you will get that from machine learning expertise. uh, Problem solve, yeah, as I mentioned that as a data scientist we all are like problem solver. So problem solving aptitude is a must have as a data scientist. For that, yeah, as I mentioned, like you need to learn new things. You need to learn, adapt new things from different cross domain um, expertise. Also, you need to have critical thinking. So adaptability, for adaptability, I can tell you a story. We all know that ants try to follow each and everyone using their pheromone hormone, but that's a natural phenomenon that doesn't have to do anything with computer science. But actually, computer scientists develop ant routing algorithm from that phenomenon. So that's how fascinating is cross-domain learning. That's why, as a data scientist, also adaptability is a must. Is kind of prime. You need to hold strong on this. Okay, so a business acumen, yeah, as from initial state only, I'm mentioning about you need to have product backward thinking. You need to think how you can how data science product can create impact in um, uh, in the company. Um, Strategic insight is basically you need to have strategic insight. Uh, if you develop a solution which might be very sophisticated or very intrinsic in nature or very advanced in nature, but it might not be required at the current state of the organization or the company, then it might not be useful. Hence, you need to have that strategic insight that what is required to deliver at this point of time. So, so that is really helpful to have. Some, excuse me. And yeah, as I mentioned about that communication skill and storytelling, how you will present your solution to the stakeholder, that is important. Um, and the cross-functional collaboration, as I mentioned, that as a data scientist, most of the time we cannot deliver the solution on our own. We need to connect with product. We need to connect with engineering. So we need to have a cross-functional collaboration. We need to manage different threads all together to make our work useful, to bring the impact we want to from the data back decision. So for that, this cross-functional collaboration is very important. So yeah, as you people were mentioning, if programming languages or Python or R is mandatory for data science or not. So as I know that it's most, I can think of data science as a most like applied mathematics, but currently the data volume we are handling is huge. It's in terabytes. The rows are in millions, billions. So that cannot be done in Excel or CSV. So for that, we need to explore these programming languages. So it actually helps to get better insights around the data. Um, and then you need to have like, and sometimes these numbers are when you are visualizing these numbers, those are helpful. Sometimes the plots are more meaningful or more effective in your storytelling, more effective weapon to convince your stakeholders, I may say. So that's why data visualization platforms are very useful in data science world. And yeah, obviously machine learning frameworks like we all start modeling using sklearn and then grow to the TensorFlow, PyTorch. Currently, we use TensorFlow with Keras to develop DL models because uh, complex solution needs complex problems needs complex solution. So complex problem needs complex solution, and for that, DL is kind of a like magic wand for us. Like it can uh, extract information from huge amount of data. It can uh, add up the basically in the DL we are exploiting the computational power. So that's why these TensorFlow and PyTorch are growing, and yeah, like even we are also like moving to like DL dependent DS world. The LLM, Falcon, everything is on DL. So, yeah, so as in some question I was seeing that it's mentioned that if data cleaning or EDA is daily uh, in our daily workflow or not. So yeah, like we all like currently the volume of data we are using that can be handled in like for that we need to use big data platform. It can be AWS, it can be Hadoop, Hive, Hortonworks, anything. And like currently we are using Spark and Hive. That is more or less natural for all the org. And for smaller size of data, we use Pandas for data cleaning, pre-processing, because you need to ensure that the, the data from where you are taking the decision, you're building the model, it should not contain outlier. How you will define the outlier? So that needs to be ensured. So um, so for that, for to prepare that clean data, you need to do the data wrangling. So that's kind of the most challenging part as a data scientist, that to prepare a clean data, define outliers, detecting outliers, and like removing that from the training data. Uh, and yes, model development, for model development and training, we use EC2 cluster and TensorFlow using Keras, so that we can build a model. And sometimes people uses PyTorch also. And data visualization and reporting, data for data visualization and reporting, there are like tools like Tableau, Power BI, but sometimes a simple tool like Databricks dashboards also helps to do deliver a better story to stakeholder, to make them understand any analysis, or make them understand any pain points. And nowadays, I would like to mention, I'm easier, but explainability is also another main pillar, is growing as a strong tool for data science. Whatever you are predicting, earlier we used to think of our data science model as a black box. So now explainability brought a sunlight to that. So now we can explain each and every prediction done by a model. That can be using SHAP, that can be using any other tool, line. But that actually helps stakeholders to understand any situation, any prediction, what it has happened, why these has happened. So that actually brought clarity in data science domain. So that is another next level innovation, what I think as a data scientist we all need to ponder upon, to get the trust for the stakeholders and get the data science solution works in every organization. So that explainability is kind of a core tool for us. Yeah. So innovation, as I mentioned, that as a data scientist, as it's not a like a 9 to 5 job, you need to foster innovation in your core streams. For that, like as we are dealing with neural network architecture, you need to be top on the current research flow. Currently, people are exploring FT transformer, tap transformer. So we are also exploring those things, those new architecture, how it is harnessing different capability of neural network. We are exploring those things. The more you will mix statistics and business, that will help you, uh, because data science will give you a solution which is backed by mathematics. But if it is useful for business, that product or business backward thinking, you need to combine that hi human intelligence need to be brought by you. So that's where the core role of data scientists comes into play. And as I told that currently we need to depend upon cloud computing. We need to use cloud platforms like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud to have a scalable solution to serve millions of customers, to deal with tons of data, millions and billions of rows of data. And as I mentioned already, as a data scientist, you need to be collaborative in nature. So you need to deal with multiple threads. It can be engineering, it can be product. So you need to keep balancing everyone's expectation, and you need to deliver the best possible code at par with engineering, based on almost optimal code. So for that, you need to have a strong hold in collaborative platforms like GitHub. That can be used for version control also, but mostly it helps in collaboration as a data scientist. So yeah, these are like my daily tools what I'm using on regular basis. And yeah, I mentioned that I will give a suitable time for this learning curve in data science. So as I mentioned already, I gave the example of and routing thing. So like adapting to new technologies or new things, like we all are currently in an era of LLM. We all are adapting to LLM. Not only we are exploring that how LLM is can leverage in normal conversational thing, normal chatting platform, but also in image like that DALI, or or any other domain also, in other predictions or other architecture based thing. So always as a data scientist, you need to adapt to new technologies, new techniques it comes into scenario. So whenever if in near future quantum computing comes into scenario, then we need to adapt to quantum computing to process the data. That will help us to harness tons of data. Like it might help us to consume the data from the inception of storing data. So whatever all the books what we have in our human civilization, all those things. So we need to keep adapting to these new technologies as our data scientists. So that learning curve always needs to be there. That hunger always needs to be there. Like each and every day, we all wanted to become a better data scientist than yesterday. So in Swiggy, always we foster upon this learning journey, and it's like we always embark on this thing that it all the solutions should be cutting edge and in the best industry standard solution available. So for that, like you need to have cross disciplinary knowledge. I can give another example. I was working on my final year thesis during my college days. So we all were exploring different sentiment detection algorithm. But I depended upon what theory's algorithm. What theory written the grammar book in like long ago. So but I used that algorithm on current days tweets and it worked. So that's why like always this cross disciplinary knowledge and like you need to keep reading books. Like I spend my weekends significantly on books. Like I keep reading books. The book might not require to be a story book. That can be some article. That can be the annual letter to shareholders by Jeff Bezos. That can be anything. It needs not to be any storybook or any books on any subject. So, but this cross-disciplinary knowledge always helps me, and I think it will help me in future. And yeah, as a data scientist, professional developments are always required. It's like when you need to balance these multiple stakeholders, you need to convince multiple stakeholders, you need to build the storytelling capabilities, you need to have a strong professional development. As your career grows, you need to mm, have a better understanding of a entire business cycle, not only product. So like as a fresher, you start with model. As a senior data scientist, you start with product. And as you grow, you start with the entire business cycle. So that's how this professional development is always helpful and always required to become a better data scientist. So yeah, mostly these are my presentations, and like now I think I can go to Q&A section, and later like alumni can explain their different programs and their alumni how they want to make this data science world better. Like we have lots of requirement of good data scientists in our country as well as world, but we don't have the sourcing. I guess a lot will contribute to that and help us to grow as a community and deliver more cutting edge product and innovative product for future. We can move to the Q&A thing. Yeah, great. Like uh, it's good to see that lots of people are asking questions. How the end product help you to giving relevant definitions to data science. So yeah, like whenever any interviewer will ask you question about any project, if you have end-to-end project, then you can explain the pain points and success of each and every step. You so there can be two resumes where one person has like four projects and another person has only one project, but that is end-to-end. That person is better for me because that person knows all the pain points, all the hiccups that can come into the road to make a solution useful or create impact in all. So that is always helpful for me to like a person who has knowledge about all the phases of any product. He or she might be a pure problem solution giver for me. The storytelling can influence most stakeholders. What is your tips on storytelling? Storytelling is like it should be uh, the tips what I got in my journey. Whenever you telling a story, it should be in a single thread. It should not break in between. It should not be like dumped of multiple information. You should not dump information from multiple sources without have a coherent flow of your story. So like I can say that like sort of made 120 scored, and then the next line can be Reliance share is in 2000 rupees, and the third line can be like if you want to go to some hill station, you can go to Goa. so so everything should be coded whenever you are saying. Suppose you are telling a story about cricket, like how cricket is important for our country, and what are like different milestones we have achieved, and how like where like how Saurav or Virat Kohli or Mahendra Singh Dhoni are like Rohit Sharma, they are like strong pillars of our heritage, and like that the story can go. It can be some add-on, can be some add-on information. What is more widely used, pandas or Spark? So it based on company. If company has huge data set, then Spark is kind of mandatory. If it has like only few thousand rows on less than what like 1 to 10 lakh rows, it can be handled in Panda. How much hour? So it as I mentioned, it's never a 9 to 5 job. So I don't have actually. I have not never counted that. And should I add the time I spend reading papers and journals in my work hour? Then it will be long. So Parks as data scientist is like uh, Parks as data scientist is basically your role is very fungible. Sometimes your role is as a product owner. Sometimes you are thinking as an engineer. So you get the scope to wear different people's shoes, and you need to manage multiple threads. That is challenging. So that if you consider that as a park, so yeah, I consider that as a park because that is always like each and every hiccups are challenging you to solve this that problem. So it helps you to grow as a professional. It helps you to grow as a human. So that is kind of park for me. We're good enough with pandas. If company work on Spark, do they give us? Yeah, like the functions used in pandas are mostly similar with the Spark, and as well that is interchangeable. It doesn't take much time, so I don't think it's night shifts or shifts other than. So as a data scientist, I don't think it ever dealt with shifts, but yeah, sometimes like I was working when during I was working in Amazon, I was working with Japan. So all my stakeholders were in Japan. So I used to start my day at 7 o'clock so that I can have a good overlap with them, so that I can brainstorm with them better. I can understand the business better. So based on stakeholders, you might need to shift your time, but yeah, like, it's never like I don't see it as you can start your work at 9 o'clock, you can end your work at 5 o'clock. How to build up resumes, which type of project? I will mention that any type of project is fine, but your project should be complete. You should mention that you have completed all the life cycles of the project, and what is the impact. That impact, sometimes I have seen that people wrote that accuracy went from 89% to 90%. Nowadays, like that is a good way to express your impact, but how that brought the impact in all, that is something useful. Like if accuracy improvement of 1% help to reduce the cost of the company, if it helps to reduce the man hours of the company, how it actually helps. So that part is missing in most of the resumes, what I have observed. So if you can add that, that will be helpful. Which modeling and products and business understanding, what is required to fulfill that understanding? What is modeling? And modeling means I was trying to mention that, like, if you want to build a model to predict something, linear regression, logistic regression, classification model, those things, or any clustering model, and uh, is required to fulfill that. Again, business understanding, I will tell, like, always try to see the things as customer. Try to check what are the different flows that customer can go, and what are the places where customer can drop off. So if you are asked to create a funnel of customers life journey, what are the pain points or pain points of your customer journey? Suppose you are purchasing a food in Swiggy, so you will open the app. If your app is not opening itself, you will drop there. Okay, so then you open the app, then you have the listing. If you can see your favorite restaurants on top, then automatically you will tag. Otherwise, you will go for a search button. Or if you want to have some specific food, you will go to the search button and search about that food. So when you are seeing that food, if you don't get that food, you can drop out. So that's how your funnel goes. So suppose you get that food and you see that very high time it will take to deliver that food. There is a potential drop. So if not that, then that how you will order, how you are choosing the item, and then how you are ordering. Suppose you ordered that during order only, there's some you face some hiccups, there can be a potential drop like that. At the end, suppose you are paying something and at that time payment gateway failed, so there can be a potential drop there also. So like that, so if you divide entire life customer's journey, so you will see there are lots of pain points or hiccup points are there where people can take different decisions. So as a data scientist, then you take the seat of the data scientist, and then you need to check the data points. Okay, how the data is going there in the funnel, and in different pivots how the things are working. So that's how your business understanding will grow. If I created 7 models for a problem, I know that 1 or 2 models are good for conclusion. My next step is deployment of model. No, never. You need to evaluate, like, which of the models, which model is best suitable for your product. Then you need to create a shadow, offline shadow, like if unknown data, how your model is working. And then next step is deployment of the model, and then you need to go for experimentation and then scale up. Why data science job role doesn't consider freshers and others as relevant experience in data analysis or some, uh, so yeah, I but actually I would like to say I started my journey as fresher. So I did my master because, like, in when a data it mostly happens because when anyone starting their role as a data scientist, or like, there are some cases where people don't have relevant experience around data. So in those cases, actually, this experience thing will help a little, because otherwise, uh, like gazing around this data, wrangling data, this require a specific uh, skill set and specific knack and acumen. So that's why there are some cases where people add some experience requirement for other to go ahead as a data. Yeah. Uh, if anyone has any more questions, yeah, please go ahead. I will expect that the that person, the fresher person, should be strong in mathematics should have clear understanding of data science algorithm, at least what they are claiming to know. Like suppose I claim that I know linear regression, then I should know all about linear regression. I might not know multiple algorithms like logistic regression or decision tree or gradient boosting, random forest. But if I claim that I know linear regression, I should know end to end about linear regression. And another thing I just expect like the problem solving mind, like when if some random problem is given and how that person is approaching that problem, it might not be like the solution should be the optimal one or the accurate one, but how if he or she is approaching the problem, that is very important for me. And a little bit of programming. Great, like yeah. So um, yeah, agent-based modeling or um, reinforcement, everything is incorporated with artificial intelligence. So there are lots of business cases where we need to involve uh, agent-based modeling, like all the gaming platforms. A good example of problem-solving mind. Okay, suppose yeah, simple. Like if I just give a person like I have a sorted array where I know that I have numbers in a sorted manner in 1 to 100, and I ask that person to find a number. And if that person start with iterating that array, that is fine. But if it can give me more innovative solution, like if I have a specific number of digit, then I can bucketize that solution, and with order of one, I can get to know that if a number exists or not. That person can give me the solution about binary search. So like the question might not be that straightforward. The question might be wrapped around the story, but if the solution is in this line, that helps me to understand that that person actually give a thought. If the person stops after giving the solution of iterating an array, that helps me that that person is not giving a thought to solve the problem more optimally. Or like the parking lot problem, or like any data science problem. Suppose I ask the customer, I ask the interviewee to optimize the delivery network. So like how what all different aspects that interviewee is considering to optimize that. So those things gives me an idea that, if that interview has a problem solving mind or not. How that person is pondering upon any problem, how he is nurturing, breaking a problem into multiple smaller problems and then trying to solve that. So that actually gives an idea. Uh, Try to solve more and more problems. That is the only way to solve to improve the problem solving skill. And for that, you can nurture different DSA problems. That actually the way code chef or lead code or Spodge, they build up story around different problems. That is fascinating. That gives a clear idea like how you will try to solve a problem. You might not need to go deep in coding, but at least you can learn like how you will get the solution from that story. You frame the solution, you frame the problem, and then you frame the solution. When you weak in mathematics in academy, you get chance. Yeah, but mathematical aptitude is required. I don't think like someone might be weak in academical mathematics, but if that student has strong knowledge in statistics, there is possible that the student might be weak in calculus or something, but strong base in other statistics, mathematics. So there are different stuff. So if that student finds DS as a good fit, then he or she can become a good DS. I will say great DS. And if he has good business knowledge, business understanding, then it can be great. I told that statistics, then calculus, then linear algebra and like matrix related chapters are important for data science. Yeah, there are lots of cases. Few days on ago only, I can't discuss the problem, but we were like cracking our head on correlation, variance, covariance, all these things. So suppose you are designing a loss function. Your loss function needs to be there should be like differentiable. Otherwise, you cannot design a loss function. So based on business requirement, when you need to design a loss custom loss function, then you need to keep all these things in your mind. So if you need to keep in your mind that the function you designed that should convert, and so in those cases mathematics is really helpful. Yeah, I guess so. Like if you have in calculus some of the advanced things are really helpful, otherwise the 9 to 12 is more or less fine. If you have concrete knowledge, strong base on NCRT's 9 to 12, then that's fine. So I will say that whenever we get any resume, I check that if the whenever even if I consider Kaggle project, in Kaggle project, if I have a full thought through over the project or not, or the problem or not. My data science course and my background will help. Yes, strong hold in maths and stat obviously will give you an edge overall. Real world data problem. Yeah, that's a strong argument. I will say that like always whenever you are analyzing any situation on your daily life, now try to apply mathematics. Try to apply logical reasoning over that situation. It might make you slow little bit. It might reduce your agility um in starting, but later it will help you. It will give you dividend for sure. Then whenever you will see any real world incident, you will quickly catch how data science can help you, how data backed decision could have helped. And for that, you can go through multiple articles of Forbes, or you can go through multiple um problems written in Kaggle. So that also helps. Yeah. I mentioned right, it might sometimes it might reduce your agility of reaction, but it's fun and it will give you dividend for sure. To apply mathematics and probability everywhere. Minimum salary package again it depends upon org to org, and I have very little visibility on this. Yes, I guess we need some HR in our group. So thanks, Vishal. Do we need to work on night shift or any other? Yeah, Anshuman, I answered this question. It's never a 9 to 5 job. It just you might need to work at the different shifts if only if your stakeholders are working at that shift, because I mentioned that on daily basis you need to spend around 2 hours for brainstorming. So that brainstorming is available only when your stakeholders or product owners are available. So if your product owners are in different time zones, then you might need to work at different time zone. So I can understand what it will get implemented, no issues. So person BA first year, I will request you to complete your education first, then start for the job one. For calculus, what resources should be good for for calculus? There are lots of resources. I will say that pick any book and start the basic. That will be fine. Read till Jacobian. That is fine. We say outside they say data science are highly paid. No, it's not Joomla. Uh, People are getting well, but I will say that software engineers are also getting paid at same level. So it is basically what you need to go. Like if suppose think of me in that, like in a way that suppose I would, if I would have become a software engineer, I didn't wanted to work. It was not a great fit for me. So I would have carried my career with a strong laziness and like strong lethargy. That would have hindered my progress. So I see the thing from that perspective. Whatever career path I should choose accordingly that I will enjoy that thing. I can carry that for 8 to 10 years at least. So that's how I think. Yeah, it can be. Yeah. Again, Vamsh, I think we need some HR. I don't have any idea. So it based upon like I got my placement from college. I started my journey. So that's why I don't have any clear idea nowadays what is the salary range going on. But I have heard that it's good enough. And again, some package is not like simple package. It can contain some ESOP, it can contain stakes and all. So like if you like the job, if the salary matching with your expectations, start that. That's all.
Soumyajit, yeah, like it was a wonderful session. Now Manjul will take over the session and he will answer all the
Sure.
doubts regarding Alma Better, starting salary, all these things.
Yep, that will be really helpful. Thanks
Uh,
a lot.
Thanks a lot, Soumyajit.
Thank you so much, Somaji, Jyoti, for this wonderful session. And I think we just got an insight about how this data industry is actually working and the opportunities it has. So I will be taking it ahead from here and will be
Yep,
answering all the questions regarding the admissions part. All right. And thank you so much for joining us today here in this wonderful masterclass, Soumya Jyoti. I will be sharing the screen from here onwards.
sure.
All right. So, while going through this session, one thing became very relevant. I hope, Narendra, the screen is visible, right?
Yes, it's visible.
Perfect. Perfect. So, during this session, one thing was very obvious that the data industry is booming with every passing day, and it has got like multiple opportunities waiting for it. Now the point comes, just like I could see there were a lot of questions that were being asked from Soumya Jyoti, that whether coding experience is required, not required, and about multiple things. So it means that more or less most of us wants to get the transition in this particular domain, but somehow we lack that guidance, or I could say we lack that platform where we should be guided how to get a transition from any domain to data science domain, right? So first of all, let me tell you about what Alma Better actually is. So Alma Better is a platform where we believe in driving output, right? We nurture you, we make you prepare for the industry, and then we ensure that you're getting a transition from whatever domain you're coming from, even if you're an experienced person or even if you're a fresher, into the data domain, right? That is why we believe in group learning, right? We do have students who are from, engineering backgrounds, who are from non-engineering backgrounds, who have IT experience, and also who don't have any IT experience, right? A lot of students who do get, transition also have an experience of doing their own businesses. They left that and now they are getting into this data domain, because obviously the opportunities and the growth is slightly on the higher side here, right? That is why we study in groups. It's just like that someone who is from a, non-technical background, if he's sitting with someone who has a technical background, he can learn a lot from it, right? And if he's learning something from him, he can even apply it in different projects. And obviously, every project will have numerous number of solutions with them, right? And the more simpler you are able to understand that particular problem, the more in-depth solution you will be able to provide. And that can only happen if your concepts and fundamentals are clear, right? And once you have done all these things, you're pretty much ready for the jobs that are available in the market. And with this platform of Alma Better, we do ensure that you're getting that transition in the smoothest way that is possible. Now the question arises in majority of the students that, why we should choose Alma Better, right? First and foremost thing is that we do invest a lot of time in learning a lot of things that are actually not very much relevant in the industry, right? I have talked to a lot of students, and they were just learning or studying topics which are actually not that relevant currently, right? So what we do is that, first and foremost thing, we do provide you all the syllabus which is currently relevant in this industry. So you're not going to learn anything that will go waste in near future, right? Second thing, it does not matter whether you're coming from a coding background or you're from, some arts background or commerce background or any background, right? Even if you have no prior experience, you need not to worry. Everything will be taught to you from basic level to advanced. Just giving an example, the way today the masterclass was being held by Soumya Jyoti, right? Everything was being taught to you from basic level till the advanced level, right? Now he was answering every question. He started with very basic question and also answered a lot of advanced questions as well, right? Now this is something that will happen in in every class. You will be interacting with people who are already working in this industry, right? Now when someone is already working in an industry, like, Soumya Jyoti is working in Swiggy, so he knows how various tools and how various, languages are being utilized there, what is their application in real life. And that will just give you a lot more exposure when you will be sitting in the interviews, obviously after completion of the course, right? Again, there will be like 100 plus live classes. So giving you a gist of how this entire program will look like, for the first 6 months we will only nurture you. We will teach you about the topics that you need to study for data science, machine learning and artificial intelligence thing. In that also, every week you will be having like 3 to 4 live classes. Obviously those will be interactive, like the ones that we had here today, the master class kind of a thing. And obviously if you miss any of the classes, you will also get the recorded lecture of that as well. So you not only revise those concepts, you can keep on, revising them after every week, couple of 15 days, after every month, so that you don't get confused in any of the topics, right? And that is the best part about having a recorded lectures of the live sessions, because if even if you miss it, you have something from where you can study, right? Now once you have completed the topics, once you have gone through the lectures, then it's time for practice, because practice is the key. You know what is Python, but where you will gonna use it, how you will gonna write the coding languages, it all happens when you will have problem statements. We have like 1,000 plus coding problems, right? And 20 plus capstone projects. Along with that, you will have a lot of assessments, assignments, quizzes that will be taking place, all right? And we will ensure that you are getting utmost practice problems, so that whatever you have understood, whatever you have learned during the live classes, you're practicing it well enough so that your fundamentals are getting clearer and clearer, right? Again, even if you're watching any of the recorded lectures, and if you have any of the doubts, we have daily doubt resolution. They're basically the live support lounge, which I will discuss later on in this particular presentation, where you can directly go and have a conversation with our subject matter experts, and you can also solve your doubts, right? And that is one of the best things, because even if you're watching any of the recorded lectures, let us assume that you're watching any recorded lecture right now, okay, and if you have any of the doubt, you can directly coordinate with your subject matter experts and they will solve it there and then only. And obviously you will have a lot of mentorship sessions, because this is a kind of a field where you will require a lot of guidance, right? You will require that, okay, because there are like multiple job roles that is there in the data domain, right? So it's important that you should be clarified that, okay, these are the job roles on which I need to focus on, and I can actually enhance my career there only. And for that, mentorship becomes very important, even for solving, you know, a lot of capstone projects, or even if you're preparing for any of the interviews. These sessions are mighty helpful for you, right? And obviously once you have completed the learning part in these 6 months, we try to ensure that you are getting yourself placed in the 700 plus companies that we have here at Alma Better, right? For that, you will have mock interviews, you will have portfolio building sessions, you will have resume building sessions, and you will be having a dedicated career coach, right, who's already working in this industry, right? And he will be guiding you that what kind of questions can come up to you if you're sitting in any of the interviews. Let us assume you're going in, you know, Swiggy, you're going in Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon. So, you know, obviously he will tell you that what set of questions will be coming up to you. And obviously if you have done things in the right way, you will not face problem in getting the transition that you're looking forward to in the data domain. These are some of the activities that we do here. I've already discussed it, you know, live lectures, recorded lectures, group discussions, community participations, guest lectures, one-on-one mentorship sessions, capstone projects, lot of tests, quizzes, assignments. Everything will be part of this particular program. You will learn things, you will practice things, and you will understand the topics more clearly. And that is the basic work of Alma Better out here, to let you know the fundamentals of every topic, to prepare you from basic level, and to, you know, basically teach you till the advanced level so that you become job ready in the market. We have like 700 plus hiring partners with us. They range from you know, product based companies to service based companies. A lot of them are startups, and the best part is that data has its job role in every sector, whether it's e-commerce, whether it is ed tech, whether it is banking, finance, IT services. You know, Uber is there, Amazon, Myntra, big e-commerce companies, and you can have an opportunity here. JP Morgan, then there is Accenture, Grow, KPMG, Polygon. They are like companies from banking finance sectors. Along with that, IT services are also there. So if you're learning a particular program, you get opportunities in all these sectors as well, which is in itself gives you a lot of opportunity to grow, because you know data can be used in any field, any sector. Now this is something which is very inspiring for all of us, that most of the time, you know, we promise our learners that we will help you taking a placement at a package of 5 lakhs per annum or above that, right? So there is a percentage of student which is approximately 19%, with student do get a package of 5 to 7 lakhs per annum, right? What is even more motivating is that there are 29% of the students who get a package of 7 to 8 lakhs per annum, right? And I'm talking about the freshly graduates of Alma Better, you know, irrespective of whatever the background is. There are like 37% of the student who get a package of 8 to 9 lakhs per annum initially only, post the completion of the course, which is of 6 months. And then there are like 15% of the students who get a package that is more than 9 lakhs per annum. And out of that also, you know, 3% are the ones, you know, who get a package of more than 10 lakhs per annum. So, you know, getting a package of like 11, 12 lakhs per annum, that itself means that you're getting around 85, 90,000 a month, which is a very good start if you're looking forward to build your career in this industry. So this is how the salary breakout actually looks like for all those people who have recently graduated from Alma Better and are getting into these companies. Some of the success stories, you know, you will find people who are from tech background, you will find people who are from non-tech background, you will find people who have, you know, gap years, you will find people who do not have the relevant experience in this field, you will find people who are continuously doing job in some different domain. It can be sales, marketing, banking, finance, and they are getting a switch into this data domain because they know how to utilize a lot of tools, they know how to work on languages, right? And these are some of the names: Rohan having a tech background, Isaac having a non-tech background, he's a fresher, you know, he got himself a placement. Wabho, tech background, again a fresher, got himself placed. Then we have Swamijit Das, again from a non-tech background, and he's working as a data scientist. He's also a working professional from a different field. So we do have a lot of success stories. If you will go to our LinkedIn page, also if you go to our website, you will find a lot of success stories where people are getting the transition they're looking forward for. Now, there's one more big added advantage that Alma Butter has, is that whatever instructor or teachers you will get here, they're already working in this industry, right? Just like Rochit is working in BCG, Sayan is working in Walmart, like, right? So they have this understanding about how basically all these tools and languages are working in this industry. So they give you that extra understanding about those topics ki, acha, if we are learning about Tableau, how it is being used in Walmart. If you're learning about Power BI, how it is being used in BCG or in Accenture, how well you can use Python language, if someone is working at Swiggy, just like Somyajit was, so how you can use it there also to solve the problem. So again, this is something that helps you a lot. And obviously, if you're getting in touch with all these instructors, you get an in-depth knowledge about how the industry is working, right? What are the requirements they have, and what else you can do to prepare yourself better, right? Now, a quick student dashboard walkthrough. So this is how basically the dashboard looks like for all those people who have not enrolled, right? It's a certification in full stack data science and artificial intelligence, which is in collaboration with IIT Guwahati. Again, IIT Guwahati, you will say, comes in top 10 tech colleges that are there in India, and majority of the students who are from science background do know this, that they really have to prepare hard to get into IIT, right? And you're getting this certification from there only, from IIT Guwahati. Again, it's a 6 months of program. I already told you, post that we will start working on your placement thing. And the best part is that we have made this syllabus in such a way that you will also learn about a lot of AI tools, and obviously that will help you understanding things in a more better way, and you will also be solving problems, right? In a much smarter way, because if you know how to use AI tools, a lot of your problems are sorted, right? So these are our instructors and mentors. Vikas Srivastava, he's one of our co-founders out here. He's already having a work experience in American Express as well as HSBC. Lalit Kumar Digala is there, work experience Google. Avinash Singh, Mercedes. Then we have Sayan Dey, who is at Walmart. Mohammed Hasabuddin is there, who is working with Sutherland. So a lot of people, if you see, they're already working in different companies, which in itself are huge companies, right? Subhanshi Sharma is there from American Express. Soumya Jyoti, he's also one of our instructors. He took the masterclass today as well, working at Swiggy. He's also one of our instructors. We already talked about Rochit Jain. Siddharth is there from Mintra. Then we have people from American Express, Car Dekho. So people who have a relevant experience behind their back. Alok Anand, again one of our founders. Shivam Datta, one of our founders out here. They have heavy experience behind them, working in data sector, right? And then they will definitely give you that insight information how this industry is basically working, right? And these are some of the transitions that have taken place. Kamya, as a fresher, got into statistical programmer. Vanshika, again, she was a data analyst already, though she has a working experience, she got into machine learning engineer. Again, Arko Paravo Pradhan, he was a fresher, got into data analyst. Swamijit Das, design engineer, into business analyst. So you will find a lot of examples where people are getting themselves placed, right? From one domain to another domain, and they're getting placed in good companies like Romali Das. She was already a development analyst and got into manager analytics and business insights, working with Myntra. Okay, so this is how your syllabus looks like. We start with Python. Again, ChatGPT is being used. Then we get more into Python, working around pandas. We talk about SQL. Then we talk about MS Excel, Power BI, Tableau. In every topic, if you see, there is an add-on using ChatGPT or any of the AI tools that is there in the market. Then we learn about statistics, a bit of probability, and then we get into machine learning, where we talk about supervised learning, unsupervised learning, obviously deep learning, and everything is being taught to you from scratch. Okay, getting to the live dashboard part. So this is how your live dashboard looks like, where you have multiple options out here, multiple tabs: home, learn, classroom, practice, projects, career, mentorship, community. And also we do have refer and learn program with us, which I will definitely be discussing. So this is how the home page basically looks like, right? Why you should opt for IIT Guwahati program. And if you want to talk to our admissions team, you can also click out here, and you can have an understanding about why you should go ahead with IIT Guwahati program. If any of you are previously enrolled with us, you can talk to us as well, and you can upgrade to IIT Guwahati, because it is a very good program that we are having out here, right? So let's talk about, then you go to the learn segment, and then you understand about what are the topics that are being done, what are the topics that are still pending. So I'm already enrolled in one of the courses, and this is how it looks like. Getting started with Python, a lot of topics, subtopics, then there are a lot of tests, and then there is a capstone project waiting for you that you need to solve. Same goes for Python control flow, a lot of topics, subtopics, a project to follow. Then we have numerical programming in Python, a lot of topics, subtopics, tests, assignments, project to follow. Then we have relational database, data visualization tools. So in every topic, you will see that you will have topics, subtopics, you will have a lot of problems that you need to work on, practice upon, and then you will have project to finish that particular topic, right? So this is how it basically works like. So clicking on this classroom part, it's there here only. You will be getting the schedule of the upcoming classes, right? So I have a class on 20th of November, 22nd, 24th. So every alternate day I will have a class, and the day that I will be having my off, I will be practicing, I will be revising my concepts. And these are some of the lectures that I have already completed, right? So recordings of these particular classes will be available soon. If there are any kind of notes that will be provided, that will also be given to you. So this is one of the recordings that is available. You click on this, and you will get into the classroom wala module, where you will find out the recording, right? So it's a 3 hours of class. You just pause it, play it. If you have any doubt, you can in this lecture, right? And if you have any of the problems regarding any of the courses, what you can do is that you can just give it a pause. You go to help section, you go to live support, and you will have one of the subject matter experts waiting for you out here, right? Who will solve your queries right here only. Let me just write my name. When I enter here, these are some of the tables, look, where a lot of our subject matter experts are waiting to solve the queries of the learners. You can see the table is full out here. That means someone is there and he's asking his doubt, and it is being clarified, right? So if you have any of the doubts, you can take any of the tables and can answer, ask your doubt there only. And if all the tables are full, you can either come after half an hour or 45 minutes. But if you think like, no, I need to solve that query right now, you can take one of the waiting rooms out here. You can sit here, and if you find any of the table vacant, you can directly go there and solve your doubt with a subject matter expert that we have out here. So this is how the live support works. Like, it is currently working. It works from Monday to Saturday, 10:30 to 7:30 p.m., right? So subject matter expert do ensure that all your doubts are getting solved. So you're not only getting the live classes, you're getting the recording part as well. And if even if you have any questions out there as well, it will be getting sorted by the live support lounge that we have here. Then we have practice questions, and we have questions and a lot of questions, right? You take any of the tests, and you will know that this is a 30 minutes of test. It will have 30 questions. You need to score certain number of marks out here. So that is how it basically looks like. If let us assume that I'm taking this meta wala test. Meta is obviously the new name of Facebook. Again, a 30 minutes test that will have 30 questions. So look, there are like 12 to 15 tests, and each test will have like 30 question, right? That means they have like 450 questions that are there. And obviously these number of tests will only and only improve your learning and give you more clarity over the fundamental understanding that you have got. Projects already discussed. There are like 20 plus projects from Netflix, Zomato, Yes Bank, Airbnb, World Bank. So you can use the data set and can solve the project, and that will only help you understand your topics that you have done in a much clearer way. Career, again, once you've completed a 6 month of program, you have to go through the AB CAT test that we take out here. Once you pass that AB CAT test, you get into the placement wala part, where we start building your resume, we start working on your portfolio building, we start taking your mock interviews, and all in all, we start preparing you for the companies that are with us, that are hiring partners of us. And once you crack one of those interviews, you're more than ready to go to step into the career of data domain. This is how the mentorship session look like. You can book any of these sessions. You can click on the mentorship button out here. You can click on book now. If you want any of these mentorship sessions, just click on that. Let us assume that you want a session on job search counseling, and put next here. You can add date and time here. Let us assume that you're taking any of the times out here. You have to do it a week prior, right? And once you're doing it, obviously you will have time slots. You can take any of the time slots. You have the authority to choose three. Once you've done that, it will be booked here. We will confirm it from our end whether the mentor or instructor is available at that point of time or not. If he is, you will get in touch with him and most of your doubts will be clarified, right? So this is how the mentorship session looks like. Now there is one more thing for all those learners, right, who are actually our enrolled learners, or who do have friends and families who want to get into this data domain, right? We have refer and earn, right? So the referment amount is just too huge, right? So we have programs where we have the premium program where you get a certification from Alma Better. Then we have iconic program where you get certification from Alma Better plus IIT Guwahati, and then you have master's program. So if you're referring someone for master's program, right, so that particular person will get 10,000 rupees discount on the master's fee, while 30,000 rupees will be earned by you only if that particular person is enrolling for masters. If he's enrolling for iconic plan, you get 6,000 rupees, and that particular person will get 3,000 discount. And if you're looking for premium program, you get 3,000 rupees as the reference amount, and the other person who is using your link out here, he will get 1,500 discount on the programs that we offer. So talking about the fees part, so initially this is how the certification of IIT Guwahati basically looks like, in Institute of Technology Guwahati, that is being backed by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. And Alma Better is also part of it. So you get certifications, kind of a dual certification that you get out here, and this is how the normal certification of Alma Better looks like. Okay, talking about the fee structure part, if you're looking forward for the premium program, that means if you only want certification from Alma Better, it will cost you 30,000. And if you're looking forward for IIT Guwahati, you will get it for 60,000. The basic difference remains very minute. When you're going for IIT Guwahati, obviously you get a certification from them. Obviously, some of their professors will come up and give you lectures once in a month, right? And obviously, you have a 2 days campus immersion at IIT Guwahati, so you can even visit their campus, and you can check their labs. You can you can meet with their professors as well, because that is something that is included in this particular certification, right? So this is that when it comes to the Alma Better part, how it will help you in building your career. So if we have any of the doubts out here, we can start taking them. Vishal Singh, has I already a student of Alma Mater? I know all these things. Can I leave or need to fill the feedback link? You can, or you can also leave, Vishal. Okay. Do we have anything for the questions? If someone is weak in mathematics, so Rahul has a question that will, give clarity about a lot of, people who are having this doubt that they're weak in mathematics, in academics. Is that Chinese can be a good data scientist? Is this field requires intense rigorous of mathematics? As in our academics mention the topics before starting DS that make it an easy approach. No, I think Rahul, even if you're weak at every topic that we teach here, you need not to worry about it, because someday you have to learn these topics. Because if you have this thing in your mind that I have to get into data domain, so someday or the other day you have to basically you know uh, learn about these topics. And the best part is that here at Alma Better, we teach everything to you from a very basic level. So if you're teaching you statistics, we start from mean median mode, right? So we tell you that from where that particular topic has come up from, and what are its implications, or what are its real time importance of those topics, right? So you need not to worry about whether you're from a having a strong mathematics background or not. You can easily practice things well, right? And before starting data science, there are no such topic that I will again tell you that you need to learn. We will be teaching you everything from scratch, because there is no point telling you that you need to learn this from here or there. Because what happens is that you might end up learning a lot of irrelevant stuff which we do not want. You come here as a fresh mind, we will nurture you, and we will give you the direction to switch into the data domain? Uh, Akash has a question that how can we make our resume stand out as a fresher with no experience? Are alma better projects enough for a company like Swiggy? Obviously, it is. And when you talk about resume building stuff, we will be teaching you in our placement sessions that we have out here at Alma Butter, Akash. So you need not to worry about your resume building. It will help you a lot when you will be sitting in your interviews, Pankaj. Trust me, having a relevant background always helps. It's 5 lakhs per annum, MTH story. That is the minimum salary that we offer to a learner. It depends, Anshuman. It depends upon what the company is asking from you, from what the organization is asking from you. It doesn't matter a lot, MTH story. We will have business communication classes as well, where your English will be enhanced. So you need not to worry even if your English is strong or it is not on the a stronger side. No, not really. Once you have to complete your graduation and then you can give interview. No, it's not a marketing Zumla, Abhishek. If you have a relevant experience, if you have a command over topics, if you know how to use your tools, languages, it is not a myth. People do get 50, 60 lakhs per annum as well. Not outside, in India as well, because the demand is that much. No, Vishal, I can't say that you will start earning 40 to 45 lakhs per annum in 1 or 2 years, but obviously after 5 or 6 years of experience, that is pretty much, possible. It's 5 lakhs per annum, Vansh. We are still taking that upgrade admissions, Rajnikant. So if you're looking forward to upgrade yourself to Iconic plan, you can, mail me once, right? I'm writing down my email address out here, right? You can just mail me, and I will be giving you the guidance how to upgrade your course to Iconic. Yes, they can, Anshuman. All right, I think majority of the questions is being answered, and thank you so much, team, for being so patient during this entire masterclass. And we keep on having these masterclasses every weekend. That is on Saturdays, right? It gives you more and more information about how data domain is working. So if you have any of your friends, colleagues, relatives who are looking forward to get into data science, do take them into this particular session. They will get a lot of insights, and I hope that majority of you who attended this masterclass will be coming up and enrolling in one of our courses. So our next batch is starting from Tuesday for IIT data science and artificial intelligence. If you're interested, my email ID is already being shared. You can reach out to me. I will be more than happy to guide you. Till then, thank you so much for being such a lovely audience, and have a great weekend. Bye bye. Take care, all of you.